Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So we've got another idiot here with, and people's microphones and ability to record and upload almost needs to be restricted at this point, because people get on here, they get on the internet, and they say whatever. So we've got one here, and as you can read the caption, it says, a woman says that a husband not sharing his location with his wife is grounds for a divorce. Do you agree? So I'm going to go ahead and start this up so that you can hear this. Let's go.
We married and my husband refuses to share his location with me. Yes, I have heard of this scenario before. We get a divorce. Matter of fact, we would have had spoken about this already during our dating stage. And if I find out you don't believe in sharing your location with your wife, we ain't gonna make it no further anyway. Because I know what it means. There's only one reason a person don't want to share their location with you that you're romantically involved with, supposed to be in a relationship with, and that's because they don't want you to know where they're at. There's only one reason a person don't want you to know where they're at, because they know you wouldn't like where they at, right? That's simple. Okay. So no, that's what cheating looks like. Cheating don't look like you walking in on a man in bed with a woman. We don't all get the benefit of seeing it for a fact like that. And yes, I call it a benefit. If you're getting cheated on, you may as well know you're getting cheated on. So yeah, it's a benefit for it to be given to you in such a sure package. We don't get that benefit. You got to look at the signs. You got to stop ignoring your gut. You got to use your intuition. You got to use your mind and your common sense. If we married and my husband refuses to share his location with me, yes, I have.
Okay. So you heard her say that, and it's a shame, because this is not a bad looking lady. But foolishness is coming out of her mouth. The first question I would have is, if he's got to share his location with you, are you sharing your location with him? Is this a mutual thing? And really beyond that, this speaks to high levels of insecurity. One of the traits of a healthy relationship that has the potential to last and has endurance and staying power is a relationship that is actually built on trust. And that's so lost nowadays in these conversations where, the blame is going around and everybody's pointing fingers and everybody's pointing out each gender's shortcomings and what they're doing wrong. The women are pointing out everything that they think the men do wrong. The men are pointing out everything they think the women do wrong. And in all of these conversations, what's lost and what gets deteriorated is the concept of trust in a relationship. Nobody trusts anybody anymore in any situation. And people would say, well, anybody could do you wrong. So it's not illogical to not trust anybody. You can be with somebody for X amount of time, and then, they come out of a trick bag and they do this and do that. And while that is a possibility, we don't really live our lives like that. And the reality is we can't, because if we lived our lives like that, we would never do anything. Nothing is a complete 100% guarantee except your death. That you're 100% know that it's true. Other than that, everything in between your birth and your death has a margin for turning out one way or another. When we get jobs, we don't have the thought in our mind actively that when I go home and clock out of this job tonight, they're going to call me in the middle of the night, or they're going to call me early in the morning and tell me don't come in all of a sudden. We get into things like a sense of security, job security. knowing full and well we done seen people get laid off, we done seen people get fired, we done seen companies fold, we've seen all kinds of things, we've seen economic downturns, we've seen unemployment rates go up and things of that nature. Yet and still, the routineness of getting up and going to the same job offers a level of security in our minds where we feel like we can kind of depend on it, to the point where we will plan out all of the things that we need to do um, with the checks that we have yet to receive. Right? Going back to the concept of death being sure, while we understand that every one of us is going to die, we have 100% expectation of living. Death catches us by surprise all the time, right? So we don't ever actively think, I'm not going to be able to take my next breath, or I'm not going to wake up tomorrow. We don't really think about that in any real sense, because our day-to-day lives, we're so consumed with everything that we do, we don't really think about it. The reason I'm saying this is to drive the point home that we trust things. We trust things we got no business trusting. We trust that certain things are just going to go the way that they're supposed to go, or the way that we want them to go. Right? We trust it. If you get to know someone, you've vetted someone to the best of your ability, you've been around them, you've traveled with them, you've maybe even you've lived with them, you've done all of these different things, you've seen them in different situations, you've seen how they react, you understand where their mind is at. If you've done all of that and you decide that, okay, this person is good enough for me to get into a relationship with, is there some probability that they're not the person that you think that they are? There's always a probability of that. But you go into these relationships with a level of trust. You go into these relationships with a level of trust. I trust that you trust in a lot of things. You're trusting that this person's not trying to off you. You trusting that this person's not crazy. You trusting that this person's not some type of serial killer. You trusting that this person doesn't have some deep dark secret that is going to come out and pop out and get you at some point. You're trusting that this person is saying and doing the things that they genuinely are saying and doing around you. You're trusting it. So now where does this mistrust come from? Because of the possibility that someone is going to be able to do something that you get blindsided by, that you're not going to like. That's life. Because if you got to track somebody, you don't need them. Listen, let me tell you, if you've got to track the phones, if you've got to take a look at the social media and you got to do all of that other stuff, then that demonstrates a lack of trust for the person. That will deteriorate your marriage. I don't care if somebody searched and found nothing and then you moved on. It's going to be in the back of your mind, though, like you search me, like you pat me down, like you frisk me every once and again. And if you frisk me 5 times and find nothing, now I'm wondering, can you ever be satisfied? Can trust ever be gained? Because now I'm a feel away, because now I can't gain your trust. Now I don't want to be in a relationship with you because I can only control what I'm doing and not doing. I can only not do you dirty. So if it's been 10 years and I ain't never did you dirty, I'm kind of tired of you checking me on it. You make sure you're not doing me dirty. Like, if I was gonna do you, I'd have done you already. I got plenty of ammo. I got plenty of time. I know a lot about you. So if I wanted to just, you know what I'm saying, jump out of a trick bag on you, I could have been did that. Eventually, you know what I'm saying? Like, I find it personally as a character assassination. And it's one thing I hate is a character assassination. Because I feel like once you've known me for a particular amount of time, then you should pick up on who I am and what I would do and what I wouldn't do, what's likely for me to do versus what's unlikely for me to do. And if you keep trying to check up on me on some stuff that's not even in my character to do, after X amount of time, I'm gonna be giving you a side eye. Like, why do you keep asking me about that? Like, why do you keep being suspicious about this, that, and the third, which I haven't even done anything to make you suspicious? So now it's gonna be like, get out of my face now. Like, you irritating me with it. I'm not doing nothing to you. Now, the most that I can't prove a negative. All I can do is not do it to you. I can't address this insecurity that you got though. And I'm not going to live with it. I am not going to live with tracking me through everything. We are not, no. And vice versa, I'm not going to do it to my spouse. I don't want your phone. I don't want to look through your social media. I don't want to see who you know what I'm saying, conversing with in the DMs, quote unquote. And I don't even care. I don't even care. And the reason why I'm saying I don't care and why you should neither is because every single time, I've never seen it fail. What is done in the dark comes into the light. You will not be able to do me dirty for very long. It will come up, and not because I'm some type of special individual. It's just that lies end up being revealed. The truth has to be told, no matter how you try to conceal it. It's going to be somewhere, somehow, some way that's going to be exposed. And once it is, I'll move accordingly. But until then, I'm not trying to look for some stuff that's going to make me mad, potentially. And then if I look and don't find nothing, then I'm gonna feel stupid. Like, man, why you looking? Have they given you any indication that they're doing anything no? So why did you go through their phone? Why did you go? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did you sit there and try to grill them? You know what I'm saying, on the third degree about what they was doing and what, like, it goes from, and ladies, don't do it in a slick way either. Trying to call every once an hour just to see if he gonna pick up, just to see what you can hear in the background. I don't even do that. If I want to call him and I got something to say, I'll call. But just trying to contact him just to make sure he's somewhere, because what if he ain't? And then what? And then what is it? Like, what you gonna do? You understand what I'm saying? Like, so it doesn't make sense from any perspective. If you don't have a trust for your spouse, then you don't have a relationship. Point blank, period. It's not a relationship. If you don't have a healthy amount of trust that your spouse is doing what they supposed to be doing, then your marriage is doomed to fail anyway. It's doomed, because any little thing is going to serve as confirmation bias. Oh man, well, you know what I'm saying? Because you got an insecurity about it. If you had a lot of past relationships where a lot of infidelity was going on, maybe you should seek some therapy or something for it and get over it, get over the insecurities, you know what I'm saying? And try to go to therapy and make sure that you can trust people in a healthy way, and then go to the relationship. But it's not on the other person to make you trust. And like, I'm not trying to do that. You either got trust or you don't. We supposed to start with trust, not start with me trying to get you out of the negative. Like, start at the baseline of trust. That's where we got to start. Because if we start a relationship and you already suspicious 2 seconds in, like, I'm done. Bye. Because we haven't even gone far enough to do one or the other. So anyway, jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.